Welcome to this cultural update, a rundown of interesting stuff happening in local stages and on local stages and in museums around central Indiana. If you are listening in from Paris, New York, or Rome, you might want to go to the main podcast. Lou Harry gets real longer versions. This one's strictly for the locals and visitors. If you are listening to this quickly after we record it, you've got lots of contemporary theater options here in central Indiana. Salt, Pepper, Ketchup is at Fonseca Theater. Summit Theater's Be Here Now is over at the Phoenix Theater. Morning After Grace is a newer play at the Indiana Repertory Theater. And one I want to particularly underline, italicize, and bold is Gloria at the Indy Fringe Theater, courtesy of the new American Lives Theater, a new company here in Indiana. It's tough to get attention for new theater. A new theater company in this town doing shows that aren't high profile, but yeah, they hit the nail on the head with this one. It sold out performances the first 2 weekends. I saw it last night. I'm putting on my calendar now everything that ALT will be doing. Terrific cast, well-designed show. The sound is really on point. I don't want to tell you too much. Just know that we've been talking about movies on the regular podcast. If you've seen Parasite and are ready for a dramatic change, a chunk of the way in, be ready for this. This one starts out like a workplace comedy, and then it goes in different interesting directions. The theater company will be happy to fill you in if you don't like surprises, but otherwise go and check out Gloria and see what else this new theater company has to offer. American Lives Theater. Great to have more professional theater here in Indianapolis. On the touring front, Come From Away is coming to Clues Hall, running through the 26th. This is the surprising Broadway hit that is about what happened to the planes that were diverted from 9/11, which seemed like an unlikely idea for a musical. But they have pulled off a surprisingly healing kind of show. I saw it twice in New York. Some of you here may have seen it already. Nodding your head does not help on a podcast, folks. Some of you may have seen it before. It will be. I'm really interested. I saw it twice on Broadway, and I'm really interested in seeing what this a cast that I haven't seen does with the show. It's a surprisingly affecting and upbeat production to Come From Away. If you don't catch it here, you may catch it elsewhere on the road. The Winter Nights film series at Newfields, a.k.a. the Indianapolis Museum of Art, has a pair of ballet films coming up. The Red Shoes and Billy Elliot will both be done in February. Speaking of ballet, Indianapolis Ballet will be offering their program Love is in the Air in February for Valentine's Day. If you like your classic films, the Art Craft Theater, January 25th, is offering Funny Face. Wait, is that right? I know they're doing Sabrina. No, the Art Craft is doing Sabrina. I'm sorry. February 13th. Funny Face is happening somewhere else. Is that Newfields?
Newfields, yeah.
That's
Newfields.
Also at Newfields. I'm sorry. Mix those up. No problem. If you like your kind of Americana upbeat music, District Theater is featuring the Blue-Eyed Betties in concert. Check those out. There's a celebration of creativity at the Indiana State Museum happening, featuring the Carmel Symphony Orchestra, Kathy Morris, Rhythm Discovery Center, bringing their interactive drumming stuff. Lots of options happening on a creative day, January 25th, at the Indiana State Museum. The Ronan Chamber Ensemble performs January 28th at the Indiana History Center, featuring the 1990 International Violin Competition gold medalist Pavel Berman, joining the ensemble for music by Minotti and Burwald, and the Carmen Fantasy being performed as part of that. Hamilton star Leslie Odom Jr. is going to be joining the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra for a Pops concert series January 31st through February 1st at Hilbert Circle Theater, featuring jazz standards, Broadway hits, and I'm assuming a song or two from Hamilton. One would expect that would be part of the lineup. In February, another new theater company, Maverick Theater Company, takes on Amari Baraka's groundbreaking play, The Dutchman. with its mythic look at race and violence in the 1960s. Some edgy offerings from new Maverick Theater Company, taking their name very, very seriously. Luke Sue, the 2019 International Violin Competition of Indianapolis bronze medalist, will be performing Vivaldi's Four Seasons, February 16th. Also a world premiere of his own composition. You want to check that out. There's plenty more going on all around Central Indiana. Actors Theater of Indiana is offering their musical mystery Murder for Two, January 24th through February 16th. And an advance radar thing, the Actors Theater of Indiana is going to be partnering with Carmel Symphony Orchestra to do a full concert version of Sweeney Todd. And we're looking forward to that. That's our cultural update. Do we have anything else we want to mention? You mentioned, run up to the microphone. Get over here, mention.
Okay. Kurt Vonnegut Museum and Library is bringing in the award-winning best-selling writer Dave Eggers. But this is the cool part. $5 tickets, February 29th, 4 p.m., Go to VonnegutLibrary.org. The event is at the Madam Walker Legacy Center. Students, educators, and parents of students are free.
How about parents of educators? I mean, let's take this to its
They educated too, right? They educated. That seems fair. Okay, they're free too.
Okay, there we go. See, I'm working for you, folks.
The press.
The press, there you go. Tell us, but while you're here, while you're sitting, Julia Whitehead, ladies and gentlemen, for the Kurt Vonnegut Library and Museum.
Thank you.
Which recently opened a glorious new space. You know, it's one thing to have a new museum and library open in town. It's another that they moved into a place that's been kind of a restaurant black hole. I think I've reviewed 3 different restaurants in that location, and it's wonderful that we now have something that's going to stick around for a long, long time.
Yes.
Tell us about the facility.
It's meant to be a community center. It's a place, we have a museum, we have a library, a lending library, but what's really cool is it's a community gathering place. So the thing about Dave Eggers, we are starting a youth writing program because we need to improve youth writing, right? That's the thing we need to do. So we'll be doing classes and working with college students to train high school students. But we have people come in all the time. We do jazz concerts first Friday of every month. Lots of other things throughout the month, every month. And Bluebeard Restaurant will be opening up its second location called Mr. Rosewater. Isn't that going to be fabulous in our building in the spring?
And that will send you over to the, while you're hearing about that, link over to the episode that we did with Tom Battista.
I was going to say Can's opening at the end of February.
There you go. Who's also opening a new movie theater. But we did a long, fun, engaging conversation with him, the mastermind behind some of those at a previous taping. So you want to check that out. Link over to that. Our producer will put that link in, right? Yes. There we go.
Thank you.
Oh, no, stick around for a second. We're still waiting for our guests to show up.
I got all kinds of things to talk about.
What was the sort of, what started the Vonnegut Museum and Library? Obviously, Indianapolis folks, at least those who read a lot of books, knew that Vonnegut was a native son here, know of his connection. But what leads one to say, okay, we should have a permanent facility devoted?
I was just one of many people who wanted to start something. I just didn't know those other people. But then I found them, and we all got together and started the Vonnegut Library. For me personally, Vonnegut's life story, his ability to deal with a horrific war experience, being held as a prisoner by the Nazis, and all of the horrible things that happened after that he details in Slaughterhouse-5, which just celebrated its 50th anniversary of the release.
With an exhibit at the...
And now we have an exhibit at our new building, 543 Indiana Avenue. Come check us out. But his life story, to survive that, and then other tragedies in his life, we all have tragedies. His mother died from, he believed, suicide. We do a lot with suicide prevention training, which, by the way, Indiana has the highest rate of teenagers with suicidal thoughts in the whole country. Indiana has the worst. And we're doing, what we can to help educate people on how to recognize signs.
So in addition to your work with veterans as well, so this goes beyond, hey, go here and celebrate the books.
Yeah, we thought Kurt Vonnegut would want it to be a community center where people are, really trying to make positive changes. He loved Indianapolis. He often would make fun of Indianapolis for not being as progressive as it could be.
Wait, I'm shocked. Indiana not progressive? Wait
but
a
he
minute.
he also knew there were wonderful things happening here that were not happening everywhere else. And so it was this nice, dichotomy of positive and yet things that we can improve. And there are great people in the city trying to make things better, and I'm fortunate to work with them every day.
Very good. So visit the Kurt Vonnegut
Yes,
Museum.
please do.
Library
Thank you.
Museum or Museum and Library? What's the proper?
KVML, Kurt Vonnegut Museum and Library.
Okay.
VonnegutLibrary.org.
Got it. Very good. Thank you for listening to the Cultural Update.